Hello there again. So this is Dylan from British English Coach, and this is another video in the Master Polite English course. So in this video I'm going to talk about the respect intelligence principle, which basically states that you need to credit the other person with some knowledge and intelligence. You need to respect their intelligence and consider them as an intelligent, knowledgeable, mature, professional person. Okay, in other words, when you say something, you have to make it seem as if maybe they knew that anyway. Okay, that's the trick, that's the tip. So it's quite easy, really. Going back to our example of she works in a bank, you could say, of course, she works in a bank, you know. Okay. Now, the problem with that is it can sound a bit sarcastic, perhaps. It sounds as though you're a bit intelligent and you can sound a bit superior. So it's a good idea just to change it a little bit. Of course, as you know, she works in a bank. Of course, as you're aware, she works in a bank. Of course, as you well know, she works in a bank. So by using these phrases, as you know, as you're aware, as you well know, you make it sound as if you think the other person knows this information. So it makes them sound more intelligent and more knowledgeable because you're respecting their previous knowledge about the situation. Now be careful with this because, as I said, it can sound a little perhaps ironic and can make the other person perhaps feel as though you're trying to be superior. So don't overuse it. Another way of using this is to say, as I'm sure you know, she works in a bank. Of course, as I'm sure you know, she works in a bank. Okay, so it's a little trick you can use, but as I said, there is a fine line between sounding polite and maybe sounding superior. So I would say the most important phrase there is probably, as you know, she works in a bank. And it will include the other person and it will make them feel as though you are respecting their intelligence most of the time. Okay, but in general, I would say if you want to sound more polite, respect the other person's intelligence and their knowledge. Even if you don't really believe that, even if you think they're not very intelligent and not very knowledgeable, if you want to sound more polite and perhaps persuade them, you need to make it seem as if you're respecting the other person's intelligence and knowledge. As I said, making you sound more polite can also perhaps be used as a strategy for influencing, for persuading, for convincing the other person. So it is used a lot in marketing and promoting, for example, your service or your product. So there is a dark side to sounding polite. So just be aware of that. You don't want to go to the dark side and start influencing people too much, do you? Or maybe you do, I don't know. It depends on what you need to sound polite for. Okay, so I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.